In this video, we are going to implement a solid principle that is of a first part. It's SRP, single responsibility principle. If you see in this drawing demo class, we have everything related to this line, circle, and for drawing line, calling this function drawing ellipse, everything is in a single class. And this is the UI reading logic. We are going to have a line, and for it, there are some parameters. So we created this structure. Now, when we go for solid principle, first of all, we have to create a class which should have a defined set of responsibilities. This class should have its own attributes, its own method to execute. So, from this logic, to behave this line parameter, when we interact with this line functionality, all the functionality attributes should be in dedicated class. So, add a new class called line drawer. So add a line class, and in future we may have this multiple classes. So create a folder here, a classes. So I'm adding one folder here called classes, and inside this classes folder I'm going to add a line drawer. So here add new class line drawer. So this is my class. So first thing which we require, all the attributes. So here we just added the field, and while adding these fields inside this line attribute, we'll be using a smart fields of with the get and set, getters and setters. So this get and set will be adding for each of the each of this attribute. So we have this line parameters or attributes for drawing a line x1, y1, x2, y2, and the method which what this line drawer is going to do, it's going to draw, it's going to draw something, right? So we'll be adding one method, public void draw. So for drawing line, what we need, at least a graphics object and the pane object, and all these attributes are available here. So we'll be taking this input from this drawing demo. Here in this on paint event, we have this graphics object available, and this is the pane object which we initialize at the constructor level. So we'll passing here when we're calling this. So while writing a method, while passing the arguments into this method, first one will be a graphics object. So this is a graphics object, and second one is a pane object. So this graphics G and pane object I have passed. And now from this graphics G dot draw line. So this is the drawing of line we are going to pass, and these four parameters pane, x1, y1, x2, y2. So these are the values which we are going to set from the outside. From the UI we have this text boxes to pass it, and then this method to draw a line. So now if you see this class, how beautifully we have designed. So whatever the related to the line, everything is inside this class line drawer, and these are the four parameters, and this is the method which is going to execute when we call this from the UI side. So this is line drawer. Now to work with this line drawer, go to this class of this code behind for this UI. Here whenever we are going to check on this line checkbox, all the parameters for the line should be assigned with some value. And where are these values now? Where these values are inside a line drawer class. So first of all, fix these values when we check on this checkbox. So here is the we have the line checkbox, and previously we were assigning these values to this structure, and the values inside the structure we have four integers, and we were passing it there. Now we'll be keeping these values here itself inside this checkbox. So while passing these values, we'll be using an inline declaration. Let's say int, I'll be saying it's x1. So the value which is there in the x1 text box, just pass to the x1. This is a small x1 variable which I had declared, is called inline declaration. Second one is int y1. Then third one is int x2, and fourth one is a int y2. So these are the four variables which are which are getting set from this UI, and we have assigned this using a int dot try pass, and whatever the text value which is there in the text format, we are converting into the integer. Now these four values are ready, and next thing which is required to initialize the object of this line drawer. So at the class level top side here, this line drawer class object we can create. This is the line drawer, I have just declared it here. And now whenever there is a checkbox is checked for this line, then only we will be initializing this one. If chk line dot checked, if it is checked, then this line drawer equals to new line drawer, and all these values x1 will be initialized with this small x1, y1 will be initialized with the small y1, x2 will be initialized with the small x2, and same for the y2 with the small y2. So these are these local values which we have assigned from this text box values we'll be passing to while creating this new line drawer object. And when this checkbox is not checked, there is another else condition we are adding it. If it is not checked, then simply line drawer will be assigned with the null value. So we don't need this object anymore because this checkbox is not checked. When these values are passed, now we have this value ready, then object of this line drawer is ready. Then directly go here in this panel drawing on paint event. Here, what we are going to do, we'll just comment this section, which is the older which we used. Now, here, if line drawer object, this line drawer object not equals to null, it means checkbox is checked. And then we can call directly line drawer dot this draw method. And what are the arguments required? This graphics object which we have got it from here, and then next one is a pane object which we declared at the constructor level. This pane object is getting initialized here with the navy color and of a width of 2, so it means thickness of the pane while drawing. So these things will be here. So only and only when this line drawer is not equal to null, then only it will get strong. Now check this logic. What should happen in the sequence when we will be running it? First instance, when we're running, it will execute this logic. And then when we check the checkbox, all values will be getting assigned to this local variables. And if it is checked, means this new object will get created. And when this event gets triggered, it is going to be a true condition here. And then this draw method will get executed, which is written inside this line drawer class. So just run and check. So assign some values to this x1. I am assigning 10, and then this y1 is 10 and 100 for x2 y2, and check this checkbox. So you can see this line getting drawn, and then all the logic for this draw method which we have moved to inside a line drawer. So this is a single responsibility class which we created for drawing a line, and this is how it is executing the logic.